Good morning. You'll be listening to this book pretty much every day this week, and I'm really excited about it because it's something that's really fun, I think. Our book of the week is called A Day at the Apple Orchard. I haven't been to the apple orchard this year, but maybe you have been, or maybe you plan on going, or maybe you don't go to the apple orchard. On the front cover, you can see some apples and some kids, and even a bumblebee and a flower. I wonder what that's about. Let's read and find out. It's a sunny day in early fall, perfect for apple picking. Before we go into the orchard, we learn how the apples are grown. It has taken many months for them to grow and ripen. Just like all living things, apples need the right amount of rain and sun to be healthy. The life of an apple begins in the spring. During the winter months, the tree doesn't grow or change. This stage is called dormancy. Warm weather wakens the apple tree and it begins a new cycle of growth. Leaves push out from the tiny buds, and petaled blossoms grow in beautiful shades of pink or white. Farmers set up beehives in the orchard. When a bee lands on an apple blossom, it sips the sweet nectar. Tiny grains of pollen stick to its legs. As the bee flies from flower to flower, the pollen it carries fertilizes the blossoms. As spring turns into summer, the flower petals fall off the trees. On the branches, little buds begin to grow that will become apples. All summer long, the apples get bigger and bigger. As fall approaches, the apples start to ripen. Some types of apples, like Granny Smith apples, are green. Others, like Golden Delicious, turn yellow. By late summer or early fall, the apples are fully ripened, and it's harvest time. We pick up our apples and get ready to go for a tractor ride. The tractor takes us into the orchard where they're picking Empire apples today because they are the ripest. Ripe means ready. Before we start, we learn the best way to pick an apple. Instead of pulling it off the tree, we must turn the eye to the sky and tug gently. We want to make sure that the tree is not damaged for next year. It's time to start picking. Apples bruise easily, so we place them very gently into the baskets. While we're picking, we see wire guards at the bottom of the trees. We aren't the only ones who like apples. Apple farmers must keep their trees safe from hungry creatures like rabbits, rodents, and insects. Our baskets are full. It's time to head back to the farm. Now we sample the apples. Crisp and delicious. Next, we see how apple juice and cider are made with an old-fashioned hand press. First, the apples are put in the press. Then we turn the crank. The cider comes out of the bottom. Then we have a taste test. It has been so much fun learning about apples. We can't wait to come back next year. That was a fun book about a trip to the apple orchard.